Amanda Gregg here, and welcome to your Empowered Movement class. I'm excited to be here with you today, and we are going to be moving and working and just being mindful about our movement today. So, thanks for joining me. So, to begin today, we're going to be sitting. I have a ball here, but you can be sitting in a chair or whatever it may be. And I'm going to explain empowered movement to you just a little bit. So, empowered movement is all about mindfully moving your body. And empowered movement actually moves from our chakra areas. So, if you're familiar with the chakras that are at the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus right under the ribs, the sacral, as well as the root, then we are going to be moving and working through those different areas. So as we do that and be mindful about that as we move, then we create this opportunity for us to really be present in our body, which doesn't happen all the time, and provides an opportunity for practice when we are in our everyday lives and our everyday movement, that we bring a little bit more mindfulness to that and really pay attention to different signals or different communication that's coming from our body. So I am very excited to be offering this class because it, again, is that opportunity to practice along with me, but then know that throughout your day, there's opportunities that you can really find to be able to do mindful movement. The other thing that I want to say about empowered movement too is that it doesn't have to be done in a large time chunk. It can be done throughout different series of times throughout the day. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even a couple minutes. If you just take a break, maybe you're working or maybe you're doing something in the yard, just being able to do that. It also brings mindfulness to the things that you are doing, like yard work or like different things. Maybe you're going on hikes and things like that. It brings that awareness back into your body again and that opportunity. So thanks for being here. So every practice, we start by going into what I call letting go. Just being able to drop into our body, really just come into the space and know there's nothing else to do, nowhere else to be at this time, and just do that. So if you're comfortable, just beginning to close your eyes and starting to take some deep breaths. And you can do in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. And then one more time after that. And so just breathing normally and just really taking the time. So if you're comfortable, keeping your eyes closed, but as you're feeling through your heart space, there is a practice that's in Bowspring that talks about radiant heart. And I really, really love this practice. And you'll see that I actually take a lot of the things that I do from various practices. And you can do the same on different poses that you like or different movements and just combine them together or use them as singular movements throughout your day. So when the radiant heart is spoken about, it's actually talking about the front of our heart space, the sides of our heart space, as well as the back of our heart space. And so just being in this moment right now, just with your eyes closed, just breathing into all those spaces. And not a lot do we get into our back heart. So really just visualizing that, just being able to pop up and be able to bring space into that place. And even just this movement right here, if you were to stop throughout your day and just have a moment where you could really, really just breathe into that space, it really creates a beautiful opening that maybe if your mind is going through something or if you're starting to get just tied up in a project or something like that, just being able to take a moment and take that time for you. All right, so just coming into that space of your body. We're actually going to start in the reverse today. Usually we start from our crown and move down. Today we're going to actually start at our root. So if you want to get up, the great time just to get up and be fully in your space, being able to just have enough space where you can move and stretch out. So we're actually going to start with our root chakra. So our root chakra is at the base of our spine. And a lot of times this area can get very tight when we are sitting. And we also hold a lot of our emotions here. So we're just going to start with kind of a side to side motion. And this is really, really gentle. We'll start to get moving just a little bit more. But until that time, just being able to take these movements, and it's not about how much you can, I don't know what I want to say, how much you can move in a big way. Because very small movements have a lot of benefit in our bodies. So just being able to just start that movement. And what I'm doing, I know you can't see it because it's off camera and I can't get far enough back. But what I'm doing is I'm just bending one knee just a little bit and bending the other. And if there's problems with the knees, we just make sure that we have just a little bit of bend in our back and that we can push our bottom out just a little bit so that we can actually protect those knees. And if you do have problems with the knees, just being able just to do a very slight motion here. So it doesn't have to be big. Now, if you feel as though you're ready for the next motion, just being able to make that just a little bit bigger. And when we're doing that, we're actually moving down with our torso and back up. And in this time, in mindful movement and in this empowered movement, we're actually focusing too on keeping our radiant heart and our heart space that we just worked on at the very beginning. Just being very mindful of that area. Being very mindful of what your different body parts feel like as you are moving and as you are doing this. So just being able to do that. Now what I'll say about this as well is that the knees, so the knee area as we are bending it, is really also being able just to move around a little bit. And our hips, just like everything, just connected down as we're moving. So there's a lot of our body actually doing the work. You can even feel this in the torso area. All right, so we're going to take a moment and just feel into that particular area. And we're going to keep working in that area. And we're going to do just what probably you've seen and know as just a little bit of a squat. So this squat is not anything that is required that you need to go down low or that you need to do anything specific, but just really focusing on the root chakra. And we're going to also get our sacral area, which is right in the stomach area, involved in this movement. So what we're going to do is just move the arms out, just being able to just make a small movement. So it doesn't have to be anything big, like I was saying. And feeling your breathing, so breathing down as you go, down and up as you come back up. So down, breathing out. We're just going to do about 10 of these. If you feel like you'd like to go lower, just being able to make sure that your feet are hip width apart and being able to go just a little bit lower with that movement. So being able to just move just a little bit more. If you're just right here, that is totally perfect as well. Just whatever feels good for your body. It's all about listening to your body and moving with that. So we're going to do about 2 more, just like this. All right. Okay, so just coming back to your center, just being able to take a moment, and if you're comfortable, just closing your eyes for a moment. Just taking stock of that area of your sacral, of your belly, taking stock of that area of your root. And what I want you to do is just try to soften both of those areas. And maybe as you feel softening, just being able to release any sort of tension that may be in your legs. I know for me, because we've been doing a lot more walking, that my knees and my hip have started to just kind of not been soft, and so just softening those areas can really bring that down to other spaces as well. So just taking a moment in your own space and doing that. All right, our next movement, an empowered movement, again, is all about using your mind to connect with your body. So this movement here, we're going to be actually taking our arm and just twisting. So it's just kind of a nice twist. And however far back you go, it doesn't really matter. And with this, just turning on the ball of your foot that is turning so that your hips can face the other direction of the wall. And if you want to get a little bit further, you can actually twist just a little bit more. But just listening to your body, what is your body telling you to do? Or telling you feels really good. And this one, what we're moving is we are moving our side area here, but we're also really focused on the solar plexus. So as you're moving this, you may feel a nice stretch in all the way through right here. And maybe for you, you want to lift your hands up just a little bit more so that you can really begin to stretch out this area. A lot of times, as I've talked about before, that as we're sitting, that a lot of times we can close off this area, and being able to just be able to stretch and move those spaces, we can really begin to feel a different movement in different area. Now, if that twist is hard for you, just coming back to a nice twist just at the front of the body. Doesn't need to be all the way around, but really focusing on trying to get those hips so that they come straight with the other part of the wall. So you're just coming around, being able just to move those spaces. And a lot of what we're doing is just taking a moment to think about the body and think about those stretches. So coming back into that space, being able just to notice what happens. And again, we're going to take that experience of just thinking about this place and feeling into our solar plexus right at the base of our spine, or at the base, of our rib cage. Just feeling this space and just feeling that sense of closing your eyes and feeling that space just soften. What does it feel like to soften that area? All right, so just taking stock of that. Next, we're going to be moving into our heart space. So what I'll say about this too is, as we are going up from the root, as we move up the body, or in other classes, as we started at the crown and move through the other parts of the body, you can do this at any point in your day. And it actually does not have to take a half hour like this class. It can actually take only a few minutes. So just thinking about a movement that you want to do in this space, or some of the movements that I've taught you, just using those in the moment. So this one is going to be in our heart space. So what we're going to do is move our chest out, and then we're going to move it back. So we're going to breathe in, out, and you can take your hands and really roll them as you do that with your shoulders. So in, and it doesn't have to be a big motion. It could just be a very small, subtle motion. Or it could be a larger motion. And making sure in these poses as we're moving up to the body, just making sure that your knees have a small bend in them so that we're just protecting those knees, having your feet hip width apart, gives you a little bit of a bigger stance, being able to do that. few more just like this. So breathing in and out. One more in and out. All right. So now we're going to move into our arms. So in a few practices, especially bowstring, these are called our wings. And sometimes we can actually forget about these. They do a lot of things, pick up things, make things, type on the computer. But a lot of times we forget about moving them and just thinking about them as an extension of our body as we are moving. So we're just going to take our arms out in front of us and put them in the front here. And what we're going to do is just touch our shoulders, just the back of the shoulders, and just a very simple movement, just moving that back. Now we don't want our elbows out like this. We really want them just out this way. And what you'll also find is that this can create an opening for your back heart space that we talked about at the very beginning. So just using your breath, however feels comfortable here. It doesn't need to be any certain way, but just feeling those wings and their movements. So maybe you're paying more attention to where your elbows bend. Maybe you're paying more attention to where your wrists are, or maybe you're feeling it more in your shoulders. Whatever it is, just being able just to take that in and just really, really focus your energy on those arms. And knowing that in empowered movement, if your mind begins to wander, just bringing it back to your breath and bringing it back to that movement. So just a few more times here. Your arms are feeling that. One more. All right, just taking that down. Now we're just going to move our throat area. We're going to do two different exercises for this area. These are my very favorite ones, probably ones that I do the most as I'm going through my day, just being able to bring in that mindful movement for the day. So we're just going to be moving our shoulders back and forward. So just in a circle backwards first. And maybe you want to get your other parts of your body involved. You can do a little bit of a squat at the same time. Just a very small one so that your knees do not need to be in a certain fashion. And we're going to go forward with this. And just really also moving all of your arms. Just feeling what that movement feels like in your whole wingspan. And as you're doing this, trying not to collapse the back, but really visualizing it as open in that back heart space. Just feeling that really filled up space. All right, just one more of those. I just feel like this feels so good. All right, so we're just going to shake it out a little bit. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, our next movement, we're going to be doing our neck area. So you always want to be careful, whatever your range of motion is, that's what you definitely want to stick with. And just being very conscious of what your body's telling you when you're doing these different things. So with our neck, we are just going to move from side to side. So we're just going to move back, to our right, to our left, just being conscious of what you're feeling. And as you're doing this movement, like we've done in the other areas, just seeing if you can soften anything. Is there any part of you that you can soften in the neck space, in your shoulders? So we're just going to do two more times here. Be back in the center. Breathing in, breathing out. And then our final one, we are just going to take a neck roll. And I pretty much do this in each one of the classes just because it really gets the entire space of both the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So just really focusing your attention in these spaces. We're just going one direction right now. However slow or fast feels good for you. Just being able able to listen to your body always. We're going to go the opposite direction now. Just seeing what your range of motion is for this. Maybe it's just right here. Maybe it's bigger circles, or maybe you're working to bigger circles as you keep using this process as an opportunity. Keep breathing and just being mindful and listening and feeling to what's happening. All right, we're going to meet in the center. So I just want to ask a question in those exercises, especially that one in the area of the 3 chakras that we just talked about. If there's other spaces that you start to feel as those things are working and moving, so just sort of paying attention to the whole body as well, and just starting visualizing that and being able to use that as a process. So as our last movement before we come down into our resting period, we are going to be just moving our entire body and all the pieces. Now, this is part of something that I've been facilitated in called dance mindfulness. And it's really just moving your body in any sort of way. And I know that perhaps you don't have any music playing, or maybe you do. No matter if you do or don't, just having music in your head is perfect. So just moving your body as it sees fit. So just if there's any movement that your body wants to do, I'm kind of knocking into the walls here, but really just seeing what are some of the movements. Some people like to move maybe as a swimmer or maybe as a skater, just moving back and forth. This is just a free flow right now in what your body wants to do. As classes continue, we're going to be moving just this practice just a little bit further into some of the freestyle. And so it's really listening to what your body is feeling in the moment, being able to just stretch and move. And these are a lot of fun ones as we are throughout our day getting up and doing these. Maybe there's people next to you looking at you and saying, oh, that looks like that feels really good. I should do that too. All right, so wherever you're at, just a big, deep inhale, hands up, and then exhale, hands down. Just shaking that out just a little bit, letting those hips loosen. All right, so we're going to come back into our space here, whatever you were sitting on prior to, just bringing that back and being able to sit. So we're just going to take a moment first and just take a time to see what has changed in our bodies. So maybe you want to close your eyes, just being able to feel what has sort of changed in your body. Is there any spot that feels just a little bit more open? Is there any part that's been softened? Taking a nice big deep inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. Just a nice, really, really loud exhale. Again, out through the mouth, and one more time. All right, our last exercise together, and you can open your eyes so you can see. We are going to take our hands right in front of our heart space, and just in what is called as prayer position. So just taking that and having your elbows a little bit wide. We are going to move our hands up and down. So in through the nose as we go up and out through the mouth as we go down. And what we're going to do is 10 cycles of this. So 1 up, 1 down is 1. So we're going to be doing 10 of those, and I'll keep counting in the middle. So we're going to start now, and you can close your eyes or open them. That was 1, and you can do this as fast as you like. 3, 4, 5. Just staying focused. Going up. Maybe on the up, you are stretching as much as you can. Or maybe your up is just right here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, just taking that time, just putting your hands back in prayer position after you're finished. Closing your eyes. And again, just feeling that movement of air, of energy. Feeling perhaps where your mind was before we started and where it is now. And just knowing as you combine mindfulness, movement, and energy together, that there is a shift that can be created. There can be a change in the way that you're feeling. And just taking a moment right now just to feel into that. To know that that power lies within you. To be able to make that choice, take that break, and put that movement into your day. And just change what may be going on in that moment. And then as we just end our time together, I want to say thank you for being part of the Empowered Movement class for today. Thank you for taking time for you. And I want to say that I honor the mover in you and in me, and I thank you. And with that, just taking a little bit of time here at the end. So with this particular space, what I am most passionate about is really helping people get comfortable in their body. And when they can get comfortable in their body, there is a shift that can be made when it comes to how the thoughts move throughout our mind, how our feelings move throughout our body, and how we can change the energy and the opportunity to shift what we would like to shift throughout a day. And it can happen in an instant. And I really believe that movements that are simple and done on a consistent basis, that if you did movement, let's say every hour for 2 minutes throughout your entire day, and let's say you had a 6-hour day, that would be 12 minutes that you would be doing throughout your whole day of some movement and getting your body moving and shifting around energy and being able to have emotions move through your body. It's really important with the emotions because what happens is if the emotions don't move through our body, just like everything else, that it then gets stuck somewhere and causes some sort of something. Either may that be dis-ease, may that be pain, maybe that be something else. And so being able to know that you have the power to take some time for you and really put this movement in is something I'm very passionate about teaching. So again, thank you for being part of today's class, and I hope that you will be here on our next class. Have a wonderful day.